Thank you, so much for taking time out. We are, here today to sort of tease Terrifier 3. We can't necessarily say too much about it. And I guess sort of going back to the first film, Terrifier kind of seems to be like the little horror film that could. When you guys were working on the first film, did you ever conceive that audiences were going to embrace it quite as intensely as they have?
No, actually, I say it all the time, and Damien says to stop, but I'm more of a classic horror fan. I never even considered Jaws a horror film, but I think of it as a thriller. So horror wasn't my genre. And when I met Damien, we hit it off. And when we finished the first film, Damien and George, the DP, George Stuber, were very excited. And I was like, all right, cool. I said, it came out pretty good. I never did this before. That's really cool. I was more into it to try and learn how to do special effects. When it was complete, I looked at it and, they had visions of grandeur. And I was like, let's just hope this plays well. And, it did really well enough that the first con I went to, I was shocked at how many people, and it hadn't even hit Netflix yet. And so many people were into it. And I was like, wow. I said, this is pretty cool. We could go bigger. I said, this could be something. And that's the first time I realized, because all the other horror icons were 30 years old, 20 years old. And I was like, this is new. If this, if we pop it a little bit, maybe it'll take on some legs. I didn't expect the legs it got, but thank God. Thanks to the fans. The fans really embraced it.
Yeah. And as you were saying, the 70s, 80s, and 90s, were full of horror villains, Ghostface, Freddy, Pinhead, Leatherface. But then there was kind of a lull for a while around the turn of the millennium. You had Jigsaw, but then not really anybody until Art. What do you think it is about Art the Clown that has managed to succeed where so many others that have tried it haven't really managed to push through?
I think if you look at it, and again, this coming from someone that's not a huge in the industry, I look at all the aspects that make Art the Clown, and if you look at it, he has qualities of each and every one of them, and then he has total opposites of some. So I think it's just so different from everything, yet so similar in a way. So like you got some Freddy Krueger, you got some Michael Myers, you got all these things going. So I think that's what captures him. And then you have this black and white persona, and so drastically different from colored clowns. And the more I hear Damien talk about it, the more I understand where he's coming from. And he just like, to me, I always feel like he's got his hand on the pulse of the fan base. And Damien's been, working on this for years, even way before me, and nobody picked him up on that, much to their chagrin, I'd say. But I think that's the key. It's so similar yet so different.
And we're talking, as we speak, it's International Clown Week. What do you think it is about clowns that makes them so terrifying? Because it's not the first scary clown that we've seen. And I mean, my husband is very phobic of clowns. He's not the only one. What is it about? Because at the end of the day, it's kind of just a person with lots of makeup on. But what do you think it is about them that makes them so sinister?
I don't get it, because I'm going to show you how I could be father of the year right now. My daughter, my middle daughter, Lisa Marie, who is deathly afraid of clowns, or was. I used to leave little clowns around the house just to shake her up a little bit. And if anybody's heard the stories about me talking about how me and Damien built all these things in my house, for my daughter, what I did for her while we were molding her, she came to every time we needed a body part, we brought my daughter down. Well, this is all going on in my house, and we left Art's severed head on top of a shelf. So every time my daughter came down into the basement, she had to see this. And I guess it got through to her, because now she's actually watched Terrifier 2, and she's okay with it, but still not shaky about clowns. So I don't know what it is, but I guess it's because they're supposed to be so happy and fun, and yet you're talking about a sinister one, and there's something about that, the good and the evil. So I guess that's it. I don't know, but I know I'm not getting any medals for doing that to my daughter.
I don't like the same with my husband. Like we've got a 5-year-old. I can't wait one day to for Halloween to dress her up as a clown and just to watch him slowly freak out and be like, "It's my daughter," but I'm also terrified of her. So yeah, I'm completely with you at inflicting trauma on family members. It's fine.
That's cool.
And Terrifier 3 sees, Art don the Santa suit for a spell of Christmas carnage. And outside of Halloween, Christmas tends to be the next most popular holiday for horror. Why do you think that genre cinema and Christmas collide together so well? What is it about this really happy time and then just throwing a load of blood at it?
Well, I think that's similar to what we just discussed with why art seems to be iconic, because he took on all the aspects of the original iconic stars. Then you go into why is someone afraid of clowns? Because of the good and the evil. So now you got Santa Claus who's nicer than Santa Claus, and you bring that horror element into it. So, you're thinking, oh, this is going to be a great day. I'm going to get presents. I'm going to get gifts. And all of a sudden, you're getting dead. So, I think that has a lot to do with it. I think it's just the exuberance, I guess, of joy, elation, all this. And then all of a sudden it's total devastation. It's horror. It's horrific. And how could you make it more horrific? Well, bring in your most elated time and then mix it with your most horrific crimes, and you get people that are saying, wow, I'm on a high, whoa, holy crap. So I think that's what it is. That would be me. Like you're going through it. It's like in life, you're having a great time, great time, great time. Then all of a sudden you get hit with some news and you're like, son of a bitch, that's as bad as it could get. And it's not. It gets better and it gets worse. You have to have both sides. You have to have happiness, or you wouldn't even know what sadness is. Or you have sadness. If you don't have happiness, you wouldn't even know what it is.
Yeah. And without too many spoilers, what does an Art the Clown holiday look like? Given the festive setting, should audiences prepare to see him using various decorations in gruesome and imaginative ways?
Um, I'm definitely not going to get into specifics, but I will tell you there's been a blue Christmas, there's been a white Christmas. Well, this one's a very, very red Christmas, and it's very, very dark Christmas. So there's a lot going on. I don't want to spoil anything. When the trailer comes out, there'll be some things in there that expand on the teaser. This movie is, we jumped leaps and bounds from Terrifier to Terrifier 2, and I think we did it again from Terrifier 2 to Terrifier 3.
And the Terrifier series has become synonymous with gores and kills, and each film kind of seems to it has at least one standout kill, and the big kill from Terrifier was kind of like outdone by the big kill in Terrifier 2. How much pressure does that then put on you for this film to make something that's even bigger than what is already some pretty horrific deaths?
Uh, Damien and I discuss this constantly because, as you keep setting your own bar higher and higher, it gets harder and harder. Um, it's hard to say if there will be a kill that will surpass the others, because there are people that still think the kill in Terrifier is much better than the kill in Terrifier 2. And then you have people that think kill in Terrifier 2 is much better than the kill in Terrifier 1. I personally love them both. There are smaller kills that I thought looked amazing, like the kill in Abracadabra. I think when the cleaver hits the neck, it still gives me goosebumps. With Terrifier 3, I could say honestly that there are so many cool kills. Now, will any of them surpass the other two? I don't know, but there's an abundance of really cool kills. And I mean, like I said, we upped it. So I think the production value on this is going to be insane. It's such this one is biggest thing I've ever done. It's I think you're gonna have people that are so happy about so many kills that it's going to be hard to say, oh, I like this one the best. I like this one the best.
And I'm guessing that the budget for blood was just, astronomical. Is it going to be a case of, the guy sitting in the front row of the theater should, should they be wearing rain max? Are they going to, are they going to be in the splash zone?
There was a lot of blood. I couldn't even tell you how many gallons of blood. I'm sure the effects team knows what that count is or comes close because at some point we must have lost track of that. There is enough blood for a couple of movies. I could tell you that.
And in 2024 as well, you've also got Stream coming out. I mean, that just, looking through the IMDb page, that has got one stacked, genre cast of actors. Is there anything that you're allowed to tease about that one?
Stream, Stream. I wasn't on for the entire production. I did what I could to help out. I helped with a little bit of the effects. Damien, was busy doing other things with his with Terrifier. So I tried to help out where I could. Um, it's like you said, it's there's horror icons throughout the entire movie, so it's pretty cool. Watching it, I'll say I don't think anybody's going to be disappointed in it. Got a lot of hype going, which is always cool. The people that did it, the Fuzz on the Lens boys, I consider them family. They came on and helped with Terrifier 2, Terrifier 3. They're a big part of it, and they're such talented guys. I mean, there's three talented men there, and it's going to be a good time.
And back to Terrifier 3, are you hopeful that, there could be more story for art? I mean, there's a long history of horror icons going to space. Is that something that you guys have got planned, somewhere down the line?
If we bring Art the Clown into space, I hope that's Art. I hope that's Terrifier 27. There's more story coming out. There will be more story coming out for 4. Where it goes from there, again, it's always up to the fans. If the fans keep wanting to see it, there's enough story to keep going. That's for sure. There's enough people to kill to keep it going. Um, Terrifier 3 sets up Terrifier 4. Terrifier 4 is going to be amazing too. But again, it's up to the fans. If the fans don't want to see art anymore, they won't. If they do, we'll be happy to bring Terrifier.
Well, I'm sure that Terrifier 3 is going to, it's already got the internet and, world just, really excited. So I'm sure it's going to do really well. So I wish you best of luck with T3 and look forward to T4.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.